Hello everyone, I welcome you all to today's session wherein we will be discussing one of the types of data interpretation sets which are pie charts basically. So we will be looking at very basic concept. Following that we will be looking at the example also. For more detailed learning, right, please ensure that you get in touch with your closest time center, right, and get enrolled for CUET, which is the national leader as far as the number of converts into the final converts into IIMs is concerned, right. Let's get started. So when we talk about pie charts with respect to data interpretation, so here the representation of the data given to us, the information given to us is done in the form of circles. So in the circle we will be using sectors to represent the value of a particular variable. As an example, if I want to talk about, just a minute, if I want to talk about number of students in a school, alright, number of students in a school which consists of 6 different classes. So let us say this is class 5, class 6, class 7, class 8, class 9 and class 10. So over here each of the variable is allocated as particular sector, and just by looking at the size of the sector we may comment about the size of the variable. For example, here one may notice that the class 7 has the smallest sector, and hence we can conclude that class 7 must have had the least number of students. Similarly, if you look at class 9 perhaps, this appears to be the largest, class 9 it has the largest area, and thus we can conclude that class 9 will have maximum number of students. So that means one thing that we need to understand here in the pie charts case is the variable is represented using the sector. There could be one pie chart or 2 pie charts, there could be more number of pie charts also, right, but variable is represented using the sector. One more thing that we need to understand is how is the value of the variable given. The value of the variable, for example here, these sectors, the values can be given in 3 different ways. One of the ways is absolute value given. For example, I can directly say that in class 5 there are 27 students, class 6 there are 33 students, etc. That is one way. Second way in which the values can be given is in terms of percentages. For example, instead of giving exact value, I may say class 6 had 16 2/3% of the total strength. So that there is a indication that we get from this number with respect to size of that class 6, or the value could also be given in terms of degree. Okay, it can be given in degrees also. For example, I will say class 7 that we have right now here is 18 degree. Okay, so this way values can be given in 3 different ways in a pie charts case, alright, generally, and most commonly this is used. Percentage values are most common. Following that is the degree, right, and almost rarely you will get absolute values. That's never given, right. So we will be dealing with these two only majorly. So thus if you have these 2 values given, sometimes there would be a requirement of converting one type of value to the other, for example percentage to degree or degree to percentage. So the conversion factor that we have is, if you wish to convert percentage into corresponding degree value, you simply multiply by 18 upon 5, and for the reverse conversion you multiply by 5 upon 18. So this is the conversion rule that we make use of in case of pie charts involving 2 different values. So these are some basics about the pie charts that you should be aware of, alright, as an aspirant, as someone who is planning to take CUET this year. Basics are okay, but one more thing that you should be looking forward to is the application of the concepts that you learn, how well you read the data, right, how quickly you interpret, comprehend the given question, right, all that will also be essential, right. So for doing that, let us have a look at this particular set on pie chart. So this says the pie chart gives information about the population in 6 different states. A to F are the 6 states in the country of some polka. So this is a pie chart that we have, right? So if you look at the pie chart, so that you follow clearly, this is the value associated with A, you can see that there. This is the value associated with B, with C, with D, with E and with F. And based on this data, which is very clear, alright, I hope it's very clear, the total population is also given 45 million. The question asked is, find the percentage by which population of B is less than that of A. So the question is a basic percentage comparison question, right? One variable is compared with respect to the other, right? It's a basic percentage comparison based question. But there is an important learning that I want to share with all of you here. The question, if you will see, it is asked in percentage terms. The question is asking you what percentage, find the percentage, right? Whenever the question is in relative terms, now what do I mean by relative terms? Relative terms basically means the terms or units for which absolute value cannot be calculated. For example, percentage is one such relative term, or ratio, or degree. Example, if I say Arvind is 20% taller than Bharat. So if Arvind is 20% taller than Bharat, how tall Arvind is as compared to Bharat? That cannot be answered, because we only know the answer in terms of percentages. Similarly, ratio is one more relative quantity. If I say the ratio of boys and girls in the class is 3:4. So boys is 3 parts, girls is 4 parts, that's okay. But we cannot comment about the exact number of boys or girls. That is also relative quantity. Whenever the question is asked in relative quantity, in all such cases, we can assume convenient values and solve the question. We can assume convenient values and solve the given question. For example, he is asking us B with respect to A. So what we will do here is, in this pie chart, the total value given is 45 million. I will not get worried about $45 million. I will simply assume the total population to be 100. If the total population is 100, can I say the value of B is going to be 15%, means 15 people, and A is going to be 20%, means 20 people. Now the question translates to find the percentage by which 15 is less than that of less than 20. Find the percentage by which 15 is less than 20. How do we answer it? So my answer directly here will be 15 is how much less than 20? It's 5. The comparison is happening with respect to 20, not with respect to 15. And this fraction multiplied by 100 will give us the corresponding percentage value, which is 1/4 into 100, which makes it 25%. Okay. So for this first question, the answer should be 25%, and the learning out of the first question could be this. So please make a note of this particular point. Tomorrow in the exam, right, if you see that the question is asked in relative terms, don't bother about the absolute values given. I did not bother about the 45 million given to us. Alright. Next, I'll just clean everything here. The next question. It reads, you can just read it once. It says, if the population of state C was over-reported by 25% and the population of A was under-reported by 9.09%. If these mistakes are now rectified, then what percentage of the population of the country Polga lives in the state of C? So by the way, C right now is 10%, A right now is 20% of the total population of Polga, which is 45 million. But again, please look at this question. Finally, is asking you what percentage. So that means, can I say even now the question is in relative terms? So whenever the question is in relative terms, we can make use of the point that we have discussed some time back, that relative terms we can assume convenient values for solving. So I'll do the same thing here. So here, if I again assume the total population to be 100, so the populations of A and C, particularly I am interested in A and C, but I will just write down for others also. The total population is 100, reported population. So A is 20%, 20 people, 15 people, 10 people, 15 people, 15, and this is 25. Okay, sum is 100. Now what does it say? Population of C. So I'll just change the ink once. This population has been over reported by 25%. Means what? So if population of C was some, let's say some X, let population, actual population of C, if it was X, then the reported is over reporting, huh? We are showing in excess. Then the reported value, reported population of C will be how much? 25% more. So it's going to be X plus 25% of X, which is X plus X by 4, which is nothing but 5 by 4X. So the reported is 5 by 4X, which is given to be as 10. So can I say if I put this as 5 by 4X, from this equation simply I'll get the value of X as 8. So that means the actual population of C was 8 people, but the authorities here in C have over reported it, right? They have shown in excess, over reported it by 25%. So if you can just do the calculation, 25% of 8 is 2. So they have shown 2 more people, right? So 8 is shown as 10, 2 more people. So we get the actual population of city C as 8 people, fine. Next, if we talk about the other city which is A, let's talk about A, but I'll just clean this all. So if I talk about A, again for A what is happening? Under reporting is happening. So basically if the value was 100, now we are showing less for A. In case of C it was more, in case of A we are showing less, under report. So for A, if I take population of A, let actual population to be Y. If actual population of A is Y, so can I say reported population of A will be, there is an underreporting of 9.09%. Now there is one more important detail that you should know. 9.09% is nothing but 1 upon 11 in terms of fraction. So that means I am reducing my value of Y by 1/11. So it's better, since there is a denominator of 11 involved, it's better we take this as 11Y, not just Y but 11Y, right? It's better we take it this way. So if you take 1 by 11th of this, it will be simple Y. So we are reducing the value by Y. So reported value will be 11Y minus 1 by 11th of Y, which will give you 10Y. 11Y minus Y is 10Y. 1 by 11th of 11Y, sorry. Okay. So that means this 10Y is nothing but equal to 20 reported. Hence, we will get the value of Y as 2. And if you get the value of Y as 2, the actual population of A will be 22. So that means if I clean this all, everything, you can just note it down. I am going to clean everything. Just remember X is 8 and the actual population of A is 22. Just remember that. So what do we get here? Let's check. So these are the reported populations. So the actual population will be, A will be 22, B is unchanged, C will be 8, unchanged, unchanged, unchanged. When you add them all, you will still get it as 100 only. So basically what has happened is, the population of C has reduced by 2, A has increased by 2, they cancel out each other. The increase and decrease simply cancel out each other. So the total is still remaining same. Now look at the question. If these mistakes are rectified, we have done the rectification here, then what percentage of the population of the country Polga lives in state C? So can I say my answer based on the data here is, in state C we have 8 people out of 100, and 8 out of 100 is nothing but 8%. So the answer for this question is going to be 8%. Alright, I hope we are clear with this. So this was one example, one set based on a particular data interpretation type, right, which was pie charts. I hope it was clear to all of you, right. So on that note, alright, just keep practicing this, alright. We keep practicing DI because the more you practice, the better you will be with respect to its application, right. With respect to the interpretation of the data and all that, you will be getting better with it gradually. Keep doing that, right? And keep coming back to these videos, alright, that we offer, alright. We will be releasing so many other videos on DI also, including other areas like quant and verbal, right. Do subscribe, right, and please pay attention to the notifications that you would be getting from our end whenever a new video releases. All right. On that note, let me end the session here. Thank you and all the very best.